Hello and welcome to my weekly comic book review video. This week I will be reviewing the comics that were released on the 22nd of August 2012. We start off this week with Star Wars, Darth Vader and the Ghost Prison. This is issue 4 of 5, written by Hayden Blackman and art by Agustin Alessio. In this issue we see General Gentis and his cadets. They're trying to take over the Empire, and they know that the last roadblock in this plan is to take out Grand Moff Tarkin, and they're putting in plans to take him out. Meanwhile, Vader has gone to the secret prison of the Jedi, where the Jedi kept the most dangerous prisoners, and they're going to use these prisoners to build an army. And there's a really nice character moment in this book between Moff Tractor and Lieutenant Tom. It's still a really great read. I think Dark Horse have really on the perfect way to do a Star Wars book, to have a central character that we recognise from the films, and then to surround that character with other good new characters, and to just have them as a mini-series. I think this is the perfect way, and I hope that this is the way they're going to go forward with their Star Wars books. I think it's a really ballsy move, this book as well, in that your three main characters you see on the cover here, they're all disabled. You've got Lieutenant Tom, who's had an arm chopped off and he's disfigured down on one side of his face. You've got Vader, who's had all of his limbs cut off and they've been replaced with robotic replacements. And Moff Tractor's gone down the same route, as he's got a robotic arm. So you've three main characters in the book are all disabled. I think that's really great. But they do it in such a way that it doesn't draw attention. Oh, look at these disabled people, aren't we great? It's just part of the story, and I really like their approach and the way they use that. Also, the way they use Vader in this story is really good. You don't get too much Vader, you get just enough that he's in the book, but it's not too much. It's just this hulking figure, menacing figure that is there, and I really like how they use him. Like I say, I'm really enjoying this book. The art as well is really great. I should show you some of the art. He gets Vader just perfect, but all here's a scene of Vader in action. But it's really great. They've done a really good job with this book. I really recommend picking this up. Whether you wait for the trade or whether you try and catch up, you could pick up this issue. They do a great job in the inside cover of explaining what's happened. They even explain where this story fits in with the films. Dark Horse, really good presentation. I'm really impressed with Dark Horse, that is, and it's just a really good book. I'm really enjoying, and I'm looking forward to getting the conclusion next month. So yeah, I give Star Wars, Darth Vader and the Ghost Prison a thumbs up. Next up we have The Punisher, issue 14. Greg Rucka with, I can never remember this guy's first name, Miko Suyan. I hope I pronounced that right. I apologise if it is not. First things first, I love this cover. This is one of my favourite covers of the week. I really think they do a good job, and this is a great issue, especially if you've been one of the fortunate ones who have collected this since issue 1. We get a lot of payoffs in this issue, as finally the Punisher and Rachel go after the exchange, the woman who ordered Rachel's family to be killed. So you get a lot of action in this issue, and it is very violent. Punisher has a plan. The exchange know this plan. They set a trap and get very cocky that they can deal with the Punisher, but never ever underestimate the Punisher. And yeah, somebody's going to find out you don't underestimate the Punisher. I'm really sad this book's coming to an end. I've only just discovered it, started picking it up from issue 12. So I'm really sad that it's going to end with the whole Marvel Now thing, but on the bright side, it does look like this story is going to go out with a bang, and that's great. That's great news. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this book. Really recommend picking it up. Another great book. The art really suits it. It's that dark, feel about it, and I just feel the art really does work well for it. It is really good. But as a whole, I'm really enjoying this book. I really recommend checking it out. We don't have many. I think issue 16 may be the last one, and then we got the mini-series Punisher Warzone, and then I don't know what's happening after that. But the whole Marvel Now, so I don't know if they're going to relaunch it in Marvel Now, I heard rumours that he was going to join X-Force, so we'll see. But yeah, I give Punisher issue 14 a thumbs up. And next up we have Spider-Man, and it is the 50th anniversary issue. So we get 3 stories. Yeah, it's a bigger price, but we do get 3 stories in here. The first story introduces the new character of Alpha, and he's a kid called Andy Maguire. You see what they do with their name there? You've got Andrew Garfield, who plays Spider-Man in The Amazing Spider-Man. You've then got Tobey Maguire, who played Spider-Man in the trilogy. Andy Maguire, you see what they've done there? But anywho, so this Andy Maguire, he's like not really. He's a teenager like Peter Parker was when we first started reading the book, but he's not like Parker in that he's not super intelligent. He does just enough to get through so he doesn't fail. His family don't really care about him. His mum and his dad don't really have much to do with him, and leave him to his own devices. He doesn't have no real friends, and he doesn't belong to any groups or have any interests seemingly. So anyway, they go to Horizon Labs, his class, and Peter Parker has discovered Parker Particles, a new form of energy that he's hoping to show off to these kids. Something goes wrong, Andy saves the girl he fancies, gets zapped, and gets these superpowers. So he can run super fast, he's got super strength, he can fly, he can put a shield around himself, he can shoot laser blasts from his hands. But the only limit he's got is that he can only use 1 power at a time. Mr. Fantastic warns Spider-Man that this kid, his powers are tied into the universe and he's only going to grow in power. So Spider-Man needs to take him under his wing, which Spider-Man does, which doesn't go quite the way Spider-Man foresaw it going. It's a really nice story. I liked how it was kind of like, it was like a mirror image of Spider-Man in many ways, but it sort of gave you, and really this was a theme I think of the book, in what it takes to be a hero. It takes more than just superpowers to be a hero, to be a true hero, and I think we're starting to see that with Andy's story. And I really think Alpha is going to end up being a villain, whether he falls short of being a hero and blames Spider-Man, or he gets manipulated by a villain. I can see Alpha turning evil and becoming one of Spider-Man's great new villains. Also, the second story in this is a bit of an older story. It goes back to issue 50 of The Amazing Spider-Man, all way back when. And when Peter Parker had given up the costume, said, I'm going to be Spider-Man no more, throwing the costume in the bin. And in this story, it's just a short story, sort of shows somebody finding that costume, and the whole theme of the story is very much like the first story with Alpha, is it takes more to be a hero than the costume or the powers. So, you know, that I thought that was a nice touch. And then the third story, once again, it's set in the modern day, as Spider-Man having a really bad day, and again, you know, I really liked this issue because all 3 stories really show why Spider-Man has endured as such a great character. That that he is this everyman in many ways. That he's this superhero, has these powers, but he has the same concerns about, you know, like we do, how he's going to pay the rent, how he's going to do, you know, how's he going to get the money for Aunt May's pills, or what, you know. So he makes him that very relatable character, but at the same time he is a true hero. Like great power comes great responsibility, and Peter Parker epitomised that, and that's I think why the character has endured for 50 years and will probably go on for 50 more. So yeah, I thought this was a really great celebration of what makes Spider-Man so great, and I think all 3 stories really showcase that, and I think they did a really good job with this issue. And yeah, I give Amazing Spider-Man issue 692 a thumbs up. Next up we have Before Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan, issue 1 of 4. The art in here, Adam uses on the art, fantastically detailed. Before I talk about the issue, I'm going to show you some of the art, because this was my favourite page. I love that picture. There's just all the detail that he puts in there. You know, it's going to be very interesting whether he can keep this up for the next it's whether he's going to be able to keep that kind of detail up for the next 3 issues. Michael Straczynski writes this. My first impressions when I started reading it was, it's written as in a monologue of Dr. Manhattan, and he's going over this question of why is he what he is. Is it, his consciousness, is it his life and his experiences that have made him who he is? Or, when he had the accident that made him Dr. Manhattan, yeah, may have John Osterman's perception of the world, but did something more come out of that accident? Is he something more than what he was before? And it's a very interesting question, and it feels very much like the kind of thing Dr. Manhattan would be thinking about. Straczynski writes Manhattan pitch perfect. It feels so much like the character we read in the original Watchmen. He does it perfectly. As you're going along with the story, it's a very interesting question, and he's going over his life, going through flashbacks to try and find the answer. And whilst it's a great premise for the story and a great idea of something to do with Dr. Manhattan, it does have a feel of, oh well, we're getting all these flashbacks, so is it kind of like cheating? It's a good idea, but we're not seeing anything new. That all changes with the last 4 pages. Oh my god. It goes off in a totally different direction, and the end of this issue just had me like, oh my life, I cannot wait to the next issue. This is going to be, this could be one of the best before Watchmen books. If they live up to what they've sort of set out in this first issue, And really, Straczynski's really well suited for this book. I remember years back when he wrote Fantastic Four, and he did some really great episodes, like going back looking at the beginning of the universe and doing stories about how the universe sort of built up on top of itself, so the lower you went in the universe, the lower down, the older it became. So he had some really great science ideas in that book, and Dr. Manhattan is that same kind of vibe, same kind of science fiction kind of vibe. So I think Straczynski was the perfect guy to write this book, and he and Hughes do a very great job on this first issue. Like I say, I'm looking forward to see where they go with it next. If they live up to the potential they've set out in this first issue, this could definitely be one of the best before Watchmen books out. But so yeah, I give Dr. Manhattan issue 1 a definite thumbs up. Next up is my pick of the week, and this was a book I've been enjoying, but this week I thought it was the book I enjoyed the most. So yeah, and that is Justice League Dark, issue 12. This book is just great. So much happens. It's jam-packed with action. We get answers, we get cliffhangers. It's just brilliant. The story kicks off. We get to see why Dr. Mist betrayed the Justice League Dark and went with Phoenix Faust. We then get to find out why Phoenix Faust is after the Books of Magic, who's working with him, and what's his deal. We then see the Justice League Dark split up to go after Faust. John Constantine and Black Orchid go to Peru, while Deadman and Zatanna go to the forest. But this mysterious figure that is working with Phoenix Faust, he has a grudge against both Zatanna and Constantine, and he's set up a trap, and that's what they're going to run into. And then at the end, this character learns that John Constantine has control of the House of Mystery, so he wants his own house, and at the end of the book we see what he's going to go after. It's just a really great book. How Jeff Lemire crams so much in here, I don't know. The art by Mikhail Yanin is really good, and it's just a really enjoyable book. I'm going to try and show you some of the art. Try and find a page that doesn't spoil anything. Oh yeah, here we go. Here you've got Phoenix Faust, Dr. Mist, and this mysterious guy who's working with them as they're trying to find out where the Books of Magic are. But yeah, the book just keeps building every month. It's quickly become one of the books I most look forward to every month on my list, and I only started reading this when Jeff Lemire came on issue 9, and already it is a definite must read every month, and I really enjoyed this issue, and I really recommend checking it out. If Justice League isn't scratching that Justice League itch, try this one out, because it's a great read, and you can just feel that Jeff Lemire is having a lot of fun on this book, and you can feel it, and it's just a really great book, and I give it a thumbs up. Next up we have The Flash, issue 12. Once again, Francis Manapul and I never get this name right, Brian Buccellato are back on not only co-writing it, as they have been since every issue, but this issue they're back on art, which is great. Great to see him back on art. The story is just, it's really things are coming together. We've seen somebody going round gathering the rogues, and it's this character Glider. She's the sister of Captain Cold, and she's got some bad plans for the Flash. The Flash finally, since he's returned to the world from the Speed Force, he confronts Dr. Elias over his actions. Then Glider, while Dr. Elias is giving a talk, does something to Dr. Elias. Flash gets there, but then, because Glider's moved so fast, nobody saw her. Everybody thinks Flash has done something. Then Glider and the rogues that she's put together, they steal this train with passengers on board, and Flash is sort of left in this quandary. Do I save Dr. Elias's life, or do I go and save these people? What do I do, you know? And that's sort of like his dilemma. This story is going to continue next week in the Flash annual, which I'm looking very forward to. As always though, the art is really, the story is just improving all the time, and it's getting better, but it's the art, you know, like you look over here, how he gets the Flash, the logo of the Flash, he always manages to get it put in somewhere. You know, here you get to see the Flash there, and it's the use of panels as well, the way they use, like this, such a unique usage of the panels. It's just a really gorgeous book, and the story is just really growing, and I'm really loving what they're doing with the Flash as a character, and there's so many things going on in this comic. It's fantastic, and you know, yeah, this is since the New 52 started a year ago, the Flash has been one of my favourite books, and it continues to be, and it really ran close to be my pick of the week this week, but it's still a good book, and I give it a thumbs up. Last but by no means least, we have X-Men Legacy issue 272, written by Christos Gage, art by Rafa Sandoval. And this issue we see rogues being captured by the Swarm. They're like this hive mind kind of race, and they're going to add Rogue to the rest of their minds. But Rogue, because of her mutant power, is used to having people in her minds. Their powers don't quite work on her, and she sees that the Queen of the Hive is keeping a secret, and her and this other soldier called Trite, they both see the Queen's got the secret. So the Queen says that Rogue's poisoning the Hive mind, and that Trite has been poisoned, and that they need to be killed. So Rogue and Trite have to sort of escape from the Swarm. They then sort of have to deal with what the secret was, and the revelation is brilliant. I didn't see it coming, but it really works well. And you know, so then after they get that revelation, they sort of have to figure out, well, what do we do now? And I'm really enjoying this book. One of the best things to come out of the crossovers of Avengers with X-Men was me starting to read this book. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm really sad, like Punisher, I seem to jump on these books too late. This book's finishing, you know, with the whole Marvel now. This book's going to be relaunched, and it's going to be all about Legion, the son of Professor Xavier, which doesn't really, you know, and it's a different team as well working on it, but doesn't. So I don't think I'll be getting this book when they relaunch it, but until the final issue, I'll keep buying this. I really hope they find Christos Gage something good to do, because I really enjoyed his writing, and I think it is a good story here. I really loved how they used Rogue's power, that's why the Swarm's powers won't work on her. I thought that was a clever idea, and a really good revelation in this issue, and I'm just really enjoying the heck out of this. And you know, I'm sad it's finishing, but I'm enjoying it while it's here, and I give it a thumbs up. So yeah, so there you go, good week this week with my comics, all thumbs up. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please, down below you will see a thumbs up, a thumbs down. If you enjoyed it, tick the thumbs up please. Above you'll see the subscribe. If you've got an account here on YouTube, when you log in, if you click the subscribe button, my videos will be automatically uploaded to your feed. So if you do enjoy these videos, you don't have to go searching for them. It makes it easier for you to watch these videos. Once again, thank you for watching. Hope you all have a good week. I will be back next week. I'll try and have the video up this week by Friday, and so I'll be back with my new weekly comic book review on Friday. Once again, thanks for watching. Bye for now.